All right. So, yes, good evening, guys. And once again, you're all welcome to our live session today. Today's Monday. It's the 4th of August, 2025. And like I said, we're officially into a new month. So, of course, as usual, we will go on the chat and see what we have. But I'll also use the opportunity to kind of update us on where we are in the grand scheme of things, how the portfolio is looking. And I took a loss in July, which I would speak on. So yeah, let's see what we have for the week. I will not spend so much time here today because I'm now back and active, but I kind of have another meeting, so I would not spend so much time here today. But of course, we will continue from subsequent sessions. But let's see what we have. Okay, I'll share my screen now, and I think we'll take it from there. All right, so I want to believe that you guys can see my screen. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So, in terms of an update, let's see what we have. Nothing too crazy. Let me see. Nothing too crazy, if I'm being honest. One thing I'm very interested in is, the month of July has ended, and so the monthly candle close, the way these monthly candles have closed, they're very important to me because to a great extent, they kind of explain what might happen in the next couple of months. So, but for the JPYs, nothing too crazy and no serious updates. I still expect a breakout of some of them, which have not played out up until now, which is why I am still sideways on the sidelines for these JPYs. Cat JPY, as we can all see, is now pulling back to test the level of support. That's what I'm waiting for, right? So it will pull back as the arrows depict. Price pulls back to this point and finds support at the level, and of course, I would bring my guns out and take run. CHF JPY is pulling back. Well, I wasn't expecting the top to be here. Maybe this is the top, I'm not sure. But based on the BBC print, I was thinking price would push a little higher into these regions. But so far, that is not the case. In fact, the Swiss franc is not doing so well, and I think that's why we're having this pullback. But I'll still hold my longs. In fact, I might look to add longs if we come towards this. Level. This is a high. So the price comes down and gives us a break and retest around this level. I just might look to add longs. So we'll see how that plays out. EJ is also a long way from this support level, but this is where I intend to buy. So I will not speak much of EJ for now, since price is nowhere close to my key level of interest. Pound JPY found resistance around this level, and it's pulling back. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'm still holding my longs, right? Still holding my longs, and I'll just wait and see if we will find support around here and then continue to the upside. So CHF JPY and Pound JPY, these are the two positions I have on the JPYs. NJ, nothing crazy, still waiting for a breakout. Price might actually find support here and bounce. Although I don't consider this like a major key level, but price might actually find support around this level and bounce. We'll see if that is the case. All right. USD JPY, the dollar gained strength massively in recent days, especially in the past week, and we saw how that affected UJ. But now price kind of like, as you can see, found resistance here. Let me quickly draw this up. Hold on, where is that? Okay, yep. So Price found resistance around this level and rejected a bit. But overall, I expect long-term continuations. In fact, like I said, on all the GPYs, long-term bullish continuations. So we'll see how that plays out. AUD card, respecting the level as we discussed. So far so good. Euro card pullback, pound card pullback. Yeah. So these pullbacks have cumulatively contributed to the larger pullback I have in my portfolio. So, like I said, I explained before, I've seen a bit of a pullback in my running trades, and it's because most of the trades I have open are in themselves pulling back. So, cumulatively, that would mean a pullback in my running trades, but still nothing too crazy. But it's just a clear pullback um, in my running trades. But that's okay. So, pound card pullback and still in my lungs, right? Still in my lungs. Overall, I expect the continuations to take place, even though it might take a while. But yeah, still holding my lungs. NZ card. Let's see. It now looks like it's going to drop. So I'm holding my shots, although I don't have much to say on this guy. But I'm holding my shots, and yeah, it's in profit. US card, nothing. Euro AUD, nothing. Euro NZD, nothing. Pound AUD is in a little bit of drawdown. Yeah, so it has come down and might be finding support around the level. If you're not long on pound AUD, this might be an opportunity for you and at a better price because I bought up here and I'm kind of like in a drawdown right now. So if you want to consider long-term buys on pound AUD, you just might have your short at taking the buys. But also be rest assured that you would have to use risk management because we don't know for certain what happens to every individual trade or every single trade. So, but yeah, pound AUD, same thing with pound NZD. So, can we take a stab at longs on the pound NZD as well? So, I still have these two trades open. Moving on, AUD USD. Nah, nothing for me on this guy. EU, still expecting that pullback. So far, nothing for me. And yeah, pound USD. So I want to speak on pound USD for a minute because I took a loss on this guy and I want to talk about it. So, of course, we take losses. Losses are part of the game. Okay, sometimes you can get it wrong. For some of the systems you trade, you can get it wrong and take a loss. The loss on pound pound USD is the fifth loss of the year. So, with pound USD, I'm recording 5 losses in 2025. I still think it's an impressive feat because we are in the 8th month of the year. Okay, so 5 losses in 8 months. That's still fantastic if you ask me. But I want to speak on pound USD. And the reason why I want to do this is because, at first, okay, the key level was down here. And then I made an adjustment to this point, which is why I took the longs on pound USD. But now, after looking at this, I think even before I stopped out, I think that was on Tuesday or Wednesday, I looked at the key level once again, and I noticed that even though it's not a particular price point, I noticed that 1.33, just around this region, held more weight or holds more weight than where we made the adjustment, which is somewhere around here. Right? So if we go up to the 6-month time frame, sorry guys, hold on. Yeah, so if we go up to the 6-month time frame, let's see. So these are the two These are the two levels, right? So first of all, let's look at the 12 months, because that's what I would do first. So from the 12-month perspective, you cannot really pinpoint any levels here, and that's why we move on to the next time frame, which is the 6-month time frame. So we do that now. And from a 6-month time frame perspective, if I take these two guys out, right? We'll take this guy out. Let's see. If I take these two guys out and I'm trying to draw up a key level from this point, you see, this is what will hold more weight. This guy, right? On the 6-month time frame, this is what holds more weight, because you have price action cutting through or cutting across from like 2016, 2015 up until like the most recent price action. And I think if we go even far back as 1984, we still have, although no certain reaction here, but price traded around this key level during that time. But now our focus is here. Okay, so this is support, this is resistance. Price broke above, after that support, resistance, 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 resistance. We broke out, came on support, we broke below, tested as resistance, broke above, and now testing as support, right? So this holds more weight. Now the only difference was when I saw price reacting to the other level, right? That was just right above this. I felt like, okay, since it's the same region, I can look to take a stab at longs from that point, because originally this is where I had the key level. But noticing how price was reacting to the level after taking the longs, I saw that, okay, fine, let me go back to like the 6-month time frame, and it's that, okay, this holds more weight. So we would most likely, not most likely, we'll be using this as a key level as opposed to the top, right? Because from here, we can see that price really gave us more reactions. So this makes more sense. So some of us who may not understand how we come across, like how we get the key levels, these are part of things we check for. Okay, so doing this now, you get to see that even though I took a loss, price is still testing the level as support. What do I mean? So if we come to the 3 months, you see we're still in a way above the key level, right? Just see, we still have that break and retest. It's not exactly invalid, if that makes sense. And now we come down to the monthly. We see that price came down to test, but now closed just below the level, and which is why the month of August will be very important, because now we're going to see how price is going to react to this level this month. Now, if for any reason we see more downside continuations, then fine. It means that pound USD will not is not showing signs of support, and we want to continue to the downside. But if we see price trying to find support around the region, then I am more than happy to take a stab at longs the second time. Okay, which means ideally the loss I took on pound USD, I would not really it's not a loss from the system. Okay, I've taken 5 losses this year. 2 of these losses are losses that are not part of the system. These are losses from human errors. I am a human, I am imperfect, so sometimes I can make mistakes. So the point is, yes, we take losses. Yes, losses can happen with the system. But you see that by tracking the trades, by reviewing the trades, I can explain to you which of the losses are losses as part of the system and which losses are losses from human errors. Now, why stress over a loss? I'm not stressing. I'm just using this to explain to you that tracking your trades is very important. And joining your trades is also very important. That's the same thing, right? So if you don't track your trades, sometimes you just take a loss and think it's a loss. But in some cases, some of the losses we take are not supposed to be losses. What I mean now is, if we come down to the weekly time frame, this is actually the break and retest. It is now that price is giving us a break and retest. So ideally, I should not be in pound USD. I should not have been in pound USD before now. Now, this is not a guarantee that pound USD will bounce and play out. No, it can stop out. You can find support here for a moment, and then price can still stop out. But this is just to explain to you the previous entry and why it was stopped out. So I hope this makes sense. So what I'm saying now is I'll take this out. It's a loss. Yes, it's recorded. I've taken loss across my portfolio. But I am still waiting for like an opportunity to take buys. So if price would give me some strong bullish candles, and on the weekly we have that clear break and retest, and of course I will look to take longs and pound USD second time. Okay, so this is just to explain that the whole loss on pound USD. It's not a big deal, but this is just, I hope this makes sense. All right. So moving on, NZUSD here, like we talked about. So price broke below, tried to form this head and shoulder, and now it's dropping to the downside. That's okay. I don't have any business with NZUSD or any of the other pairs except pound USD. And for NU and AU, I said that I was expecting them to come to their key levels before I would do anything, and so far they've not done that, and that's fine. The Swiss franc pairs, I don't have anything here, nothing of interest for me on these guys. So if you guys have a question, then fine, please go ahead and ask your questions. But if you don't, then I think we can move over and talk about cryptos, indices, metals, commodities. So please, any questions?
Kasi, good evening once again. Concerning Euro USD,
Yep.
if you can please show the chat so that I can ask you a question on it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so concerning Euro USD, so currently the price is now moving from one key level to the other. So what would you expect? Like, what are you looking out for when price gets to the key level below? Are you looking for it to sell or buy? I want to know like what the scenarios you are looking out for to play out before you take an action on it.
Okay. For EU, right now I'm flat. I'm not sure what to think. Because I can't touch EU until it will do one of these two things. So first up, right? So if we have a breakout, then fine. I would love to continue taking buys on EU, right? But if price just comes down to the support level, I would look to buy just yet. Okay? What I would do is, like I've explained from time to time, is I would wait for price to come down here and do something like this, right? Just find a way to give me a new break and retest. First of all, showing me that manipulation around the key level. So price has to come to the level, break it, break back in, and then give me a retest. Or price just breaks out and just continues. So this is what I'll be looking out for to take longs. But then if the market is choosing to return to the original downtrend, fine, then I would look to take shorts. But right now, this is for long. This is what I'm looking out for. If we're going to have the long-term bullish calculations. So,
Oh, okay. So for the break below and then give the retest, I see that currently close below and close above before you consider to buy or like I mean, using time frames. What are you like? What are the scenario you're looking at?
on the day, it's the same thing. Like if this happens on the daily, it's the same thing, right? Same scenario. Or I was just looking at the weekly time frame, but same thing. We
So
come down
what are you
here,
doing?
break below, break back above, retest. Same thing.
Close below and then close above. You're still gonna
Sorry, I can't really hear you. I think your audio is a little
um
muffled.
yeah. So what I'm asking is that using a time frame, we're using a specific time frame. I saying if you have a candlestick close below on the daily time frame and then close above in the retest like on a daily time frame, you're still going to consider buying E.
Yes, because if now think about it, I'm not looking for just a close below, close above, right? I want price to break it, right? Break past the level, break above it again, and retest. So not just a close below, close above, right? But in that sense, that's what I'm looking for. Something like this. I think we've used some pairs to explain what it might look like. What did I use? I think it was pound GPY. Right? So something of this sort, right? You break below the key level, you break above it, and you test it. It may not happen like this, but something like this, right? Let me see another example. I think pound card. Yep. So something like, okay, kind of different, but break above, retest, we break below, break above, and retest the second time. So something like this, just any of those two scenarios would work. Okay. So if that happens on the daily time frame, then fine. I would look at that as an opportunity to buy. Yes.
Okay.
So I hope that person.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
See.
Yeah,
Good
Captain.
evening.
Good evening. How are
Okay,
you?
you were saying, I'm fine, I'm fine. Okay, you were saying pound dollar, pound USD. The original
Yep.
level, is it 1.32562?
1.32. Now, I would say between 1.325, right, and
Okay,
1.33. So it's not a fixed price, but around I would just use 1.328, right, as like the
okay,
I'll just put the level right
1.328.
at 1.328, something around that niche. And if we find support right there, then fine, I would look to go long. That's the idea.
Okay, but currently, as in the last candle, I think that was is that not a bullish a bullish engulfing at that level?
It is, but it is not above the level just yet, right? So I want to
Okay,
see more evidence. So if you come on the weekly time frame, you notice that we kind of the level after that support, right? It was clear because last week was a dreadful week for some other pairs against the dollar because you saw how they were all dumping to the downside. But you see that by Friday, price had pulled back 50% of the entire week's candle, right? So that shows you that the level acted as support. Then that's fine. That's a good thing. But now I want to see further evidence that okay, this week will show us like a bullish candle. Now I'm not waiting for the week to end. I mean, not wait for this week to end with a strong bullish engulfing in the weekly. But I want to see like further evidence on the daily that supports that price will come and stay above the key level. If that is the case, then I will look to go long. That's the idea.
okay. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
of course. So, any other questions here? Just before we scoot over to gold and the light. All right then. So let's move over. So let's see cryptos. Well, last week they dumped really hard, and like I said, it added to the whole pullback. And I noticed in my portfolio, although Litecoin is pumping, all right, cool. Ripple, there was a pullback. So this was the pullback I spoke about, right? So there was a pullback. Dodge, exactly. There was a pullback. Cardano, exactly. There was a pullback. Um, Avax, exactly. There was a pullback. So this is the pullback I spoke about. So this affected the entire portfolio, of course it would. But now it seems like this is just a pullback. But I'm not sure, but that's what it looks like. But this is the most I have for cryptos. I think this guy was very interested. Hold up, where is you? Okay, so I'll come back to this guy in a bit. I'm not sure what to do with him yet because on some brokers I can't find it. Right? On some brokers I can't find it. So I'll come back to this guy in a minute. But these are the 5 trades I have. So Litecoin, Ripple, Dodge, Cardano, and Avax. These are the 5 coins I have. 5 cryptos, I have. And I'm still long on all of them, right? Even though they pulled back, but I'm still long. It looks like some of them might recover. So we'll see if that is the case. And moving on to indices. They did dump as well, right? So we've seen a pullback from the highs down here. France 40 pulled back down here. Nasdaq as well pulled up Although, like I said, they're recovering as well. But yeah, so last week was the week of the pullbacks, and that's why I said I experienced my portfolio seeing some impressive pullbacks. So again, they're just recovering now, and it just might be that the continuations will still be on the way. So we'll see. Gold is pressing on for that breakout, and to be honest, I don't know how long this resistance level can hold price. I'm not sure how long he can do that. I think gold will press on break. I think the level will crack and gold will break out. But let's see. Okay, let's see. And then copper. Yeah, I was thinking about a break even on copper. This was crazy, by the way. This guy was crazy. I think this happened on. Hold on. This happened on Thursday. Okay, on Wednesday. Now, Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, I think he was like 50% tariffs on copper. I think it was 50% tariffs on copper that he announced, and the guy dropped like 20%. I mean, copper dropped like 20% in one single day. I mean, not an entire day, like in less than 2 hours, because I got the notification that this was Donald Trump's announcement on copper, and I think less than 2 hours later, when I came to check the charts, copper was it was a nasty dump. I can't even lie. It was, and again, this is the pullback I spoke of, because I was up I was up 3.5%. So seeing 3.5% pullback in a day is crazy. In a single asset, on a single asset, it's crazy. But yeah, copper. Now, of course, I'll be taking out a break even, but that's fine. I will look to re-enter. If we come back above the key level, so I want to see how this week looks. If we come back above the key level, of course, I'm going to get back in into copper. But this was crazy. I can't even lie. This was I came to the chart and I saw this huge red candle in my face from one asset. Well, it's the markets to trade, right? So palladium, little pullback as well, but nothing too crazy. Platinum, yes, this guy is setting up an opportunity. I just hope the pullback completes, right? I just hope the pullback completes, because if we come down to this key level, find support, I would like to go long. Same thing with silver. So I just hope these two guys can do it for us. So same thing, right? So we come back to the key level, find support, I want to go long. And platinum, same thing. So we'll see these two guys set up. So 1, 2, copper is also on my watch list to get involved. 3. I'm also looking at this guy. I haven't decided what to do with him yet. This might be the 4th guy on the watch list for trades that could potentially come up. I'm also looking at this guy. I have also decided what to do with him yet, but it's also on the watch list. So 5. Anything else? Nothing too crazy. So again, I'll give you guys updates on what can happen, what might happen in the next days and weeks. If they set up, if they align, of course, I'll get to go with them. I'll share with you guys. So yes, this is the most I have for the charts today. I think on Thursday when I come up, I would show you guys the portfolio. I was looking close trades, some of the accounts I'm using to track the system. I'll show you guys how those accounts are doing as well. So I'll do that on Thursday. But today I don't have all the time because of some other activities I have to take care of. But yes, please, do you guys have any questions? Just feel free to ask your question.
About copper, Casey, you're saying
Yeah,
you want it to close above the key level, right? Like maybe like a bullish engulfing.
yeah. So the same thing I'm looking for on pound USD, right? So it's still like below the key level. So I want that close above to get long, to go long. Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
initially I was monitoring the copper. So when I saw that red candle, actually I wanted to enter back in, I think 5.2 at the level 5.2. So when I got the alert, I just saw the candle kept going down, then back to
Yeah,
your entry.
it was crazy. It was crazy. I promise you. It was. Came to the channel like what, and what the crazy thing is, I think Donald Trump had already announced like some tariffs and copper before now, right? So the effect was not like this. It wasn't. This was not the effect I saw, and that was why when I saw the red candle, I was like, "What is going on? 20% in one day, in less than a day." What am I saying? What again? Like 2025 is crazy. It has been crazy. Good for us, but sometimes these are the things we see. Okay, but yes, if we come back above the key level, then of course I would look to go up, right? So. But yeah, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. All right. So since that is the case, I spoke about our performance in July, and in previous sessions, I also spoke about tracking our trades and joining our trades. These are the things that we will discuss in this month of August. So, to those of us who have started backtesting, of course, I'd like to see how that is going. And those of us who are tracking out, I also want to see how that is going as well. So please, we'll have this discussion from the next live session. Okay. So I think Thursday. I'm not sure what my schedule looks like, but either on Wednesday or Thursday, was the live session, which will start discussing these things. So please, once again, if you are tracking your trades but your journal is not up to date, try and see if you can update it and try and see if everything is up to par. Okay, so that when we analyze your journal, we'll be able to get the meat out of it. And the last time we did this, most of our journals were complete, so that's fine. And I want us to keep up the pace and continue in that regard. So I've been making this announcement for some time, and I'm doing that again so that when we start this discussion, some of us will not say, okay, mine is not complete or mine is halfway done and things like that. So please, you have all the time. Just continue doing that. And so that when we come on and discuss your trades and the performance in the last few months, then it will make more sense. And then you can use the adjustments that we're going to get and see how you can use that for the rest of quarter 3 and of course for the rest of the year. All right. So yes, in the absence of any other questions, I think this is where we'll draw the curtain. And once again, it was a fantastic session. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up, and I will see you guys on Thursday, either on Thursday or Wednesday. But I'll see you guys next time. All right. So you guys take care. You guys take care.
Thank you very much.
Of course, man. Anytime, anytime, anytime.